Sir, you have no authority for what you're about to state because what you're about to state is incorrect. That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules.
I'm not.
I'm ordering a competency.
It's against my religion to adhere or to assimilate to any statutory.
As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
Well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is. And the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. Young man, you're going to figure out something. We're playing by my rules, not yours. So you do not say anything because you're going to figure that out real soon. I said you can go.
All right, everyone, today we are looking at another intense courtroom exchange where Judge Simpson confronts a stubborn sovereign citizen who relies on scripted arguments and endless excuses to avoid responsibility, while the judge stays focused on established law and facts as the tension steadily rises, leaving many to question whether the defendant is truly confused or simply attempting to disrupt the process, as we return to the beginning to see how this heated clash first unfolded.
I am Tariq Samaritari Kade, the executor of the Tariq Samaritari Kade Living Trust and the registered owner of the Tariq Samaritari Kade Ex Relatione Kingdom Wilson Estate.
Right. So you are appearing here without an attorney. I do have to advise you that you are charged with the offense of fleeing and eluding in the third degree under the Motor Vehicle Code. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and or a $1,000 fine plus court costs. Additionally, the Secretary of State could suspend your driving privileges for up to a year. Do you understand that, sir?
I comprehend.
Do you understand?
I comprehend, yes.
The court has to further advise you that if you wish to be represented by counsel, the court would ensure that counsel would be appointed to represent you in this matter, and that you would have counsel if you could not afford to hire counsel yourself. I also wish to advise you that the court would be treating you the same as it would the people in this case. There are certain dangers to representing yourself in this matter. In that you will be required to abide by the Michigan court rules, the Michigan rules of evidence, and all of the cases and statutory requirements. You understand that?
I do not.
You do not. What is it about that you do not understand?
It's against my religion to adhere or to assimilate to any statutory.
Sir, I'm not asking anything about your religion. It is irrelevant to me. I am indicating that in this proceeding, you will be required to abide by the rules of this court. Do you understand that?
I'm having a hard time understanding why or how religion doesn't play a role. How religion does not play a role.
Religion does not play a role in what I do or what this court does. There are certain rules of this court established by the legislature and the Michigan Supreme Court regarding how these particular proceedings will be conducted. These proceedings will be conducted in accord with those rules. Do you understand that, sir?
Well, according to the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, as well as the international or the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the state and the government should...
Sir, you have no authority for what you're about to state because what you're about to state is incorrect.
That is exactly why I respect Judge Simpson so much, because he runs his courtroom with focus and discipline, and he refuses to entertain these sovereign citizen tactics for even a second. He stays direct, calm and firm, and that kind of leadership is something we need far more often. Many of the judges featured on this channel appear far too lenient, and it creates the impression that these arguments deserve more attention than they actually do. We need more judges who handle situations with the same clarity and authority that Judge Simpson demonstrates every time. These sovereign citizens often act as if they can simply talk their way out of legal trouble, but you can clearly see this individual struggling to even understand the claims he is repeating. He sounds like he memorized lines from somewhere and is now clinging to them in hopes the case will disappear. It is remarkable how far some people will go just to avoid taking responsibility for their actions. At times it feels as though they have never been properly introduced to how the law actually works. The legal system in the United States is built on evidence and established statutes, not on improvised theories about immunity or personal freedom from authority. While many of these individuals may appear more theatrical than threatening, there is still an ongoing discussion about whether these movements should be taken more seriously in the current climate. For now, many viewers see it as courtroom drama that borders on performance, but the larger question remains about how society should respond moving forward.
Oh, I am an indigenous person.
No,
So I do have
sir, what you're about to state is incorrect.
Well,
If you were on indigenous lands, if that's where you're going, then maybe you might be right. As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is, and the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. We are not on indigenous lands subject to indigenous or tribal rules.
Is there
You
a
are
law?
subject to the rules of the Michigan Supreme Court as they are promulgated, both in terms of procedure and evidence. Do you understand that that's what's happening, sir?
I do not.
What is it that you do not understand?
I don't understand.
Because I'm going to tell you something, sir. If you are unable to establish or understand what I'm saying, and go through this with you again, I have to assume that there may be some reason why you don't understand. This court will take precautions to protect your rights, and I will be sending you for a competency evaluation to make sure that you are competent to stand trial and to stand in these proceedings.
Well, I would agree to a competency if the prosecution, as well as the court and the officers, agree to take a competency.
That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules.
I'm not.
I'm ordering a competency.
I'm not making.
Defendant is ordered for a forensic evaluation. I will set a competency hearing in this matter for July 25th, 2024. At what time? At 9 a.m. Now, sir, I'm going to ask you this
Yes, sir.
because it's going to depend on where you may be staying for a period of time. If they send you information as to when you have your forensic interview,
Yes, sir.
are you going to cooperate and attend that interview?
Under threat, duress, and coercion. Yes.
Pardon?
Under threat, duress, and coercion. Yes.
No. It's not how it works.
You can almost sense Judge Simpson reaching his limit as the tension builds inside that courtroom, and anyone who has watched his hearings before knows exactly what that look means. He has shown in past cases that he will not hesitate to enforce order when a line is crossed, and right now he appears very close to doing just that. The warning signs are clear in his expression as he works to stay composed while the defendant continues to test the boundaries. The man speaking seems unaware of how serious the situation has become, and he keeps pressing forward with arguments that hold no weight. Listening to him feels exhausting because he is clearly far beyond his understanding of the law, and the judge recognizes it immediately. You can tell Judge Simpson is carefully choosing the right moment to step in firmly and restore control of the room. There is a strong sense that if the interruptions continue, a contempt charge could follow without hesitation. The defendant would be wise to measure his words before the consequences become immediate and unavoidable. Let us return to the proceedings and watch closely to see whether he continues down this risky path or finally realizes the gravity of the moment.
I don't.
I'm asking you, are you voluntarily going to cooperate?
I say yes.
Pardon?
I mean, under it, yeah. I mean, is this what are, excuse me, what are you relaying to in regard? What are you insinuating in regards to where I will stay for a time?
I'm going to make sure that we are going to have our forensic interview done. I've ordered a forensic interview. I am asking you whether or not, when given notice of that interview, whether or not you are going to voluntarily cooperate in that interview.
I will take the interview.
Excuse me?
I will take the interview.
Anything from the people.
With the court
Ask the people to prepare the order for the competition.
Yes, please prepare the order for the. Is that your address, sir?
Excuse me? Yeah, that's correct.
All right. All right, very good.
And so I will send a copy to that address.
Very good. All right. This time then bond is continued.
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry, can I get that date again, please, sir? I can put it in my calendar.
July 25th, you were supposed to, so I'm assuming you're waiving it, you were supposed to file your motion with.
I did. I filed it.
When did you file it?
I brought it in today.
Do we have it?
I gave it, I mean, it was stamped and everything. I gave it to the reception.
Why didn't you file it before today?
Well, as I stated at the last hearing,
No, don't go through what you stated at the last hearing.
well, you
You
asked.
knew that, no, you knew it was supposed to be filed before the day. Young man, you're gonna
That's it.
figure out something. We're playing by my rules, not yours. So you know, do not say anything because you're gonna figure that out real soon. Do they have it?
I have not received a response yet.
Since I'm sending in for a competency, I can't hear that. I can't hear his motion in any event. So I won't hear his motion at this time. He'll have to refile it timely if he's determined to be competent. So I'll have his bond continue. He can go. What?
I didn't get the last part that you said. The bond continued and what?
I said you can go.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I shared the second half of this hearing earlier, so be sure to watch that segment if you want to see how everything unfolded after this moment. If Judge Simpson ever gave me that intense stare after a string of weak arguments, I would immediately rethink my entire strategy before stepping into a courtroom again. Most people would take that as a clear warning to adjust their approach and show more respect for the process. Many sovereign citizens appear driven by pride, and it often seems like admitting a mistake is harder for them than facing the legal consequences. Some may truly believe in their claims, but others give the impression that they recognize the flaws in their arguments yet refuse to back down. In this case, it felt like ego was steering the wheel even when it was obvious the position had no solid foundation. It is surprising how far some individuals will go simply to avoid taking responsibility for their actions. When it comes to accountability, Judge Simpson represents what the justice system is designed to uphold, which is order, fairness, and respect for the rule of law. More judges taking that firm and consistent stance would likely reduce these repeated courtroom disruptions. Strong leadership from the bench sends a message that unsupported claims and theatrical tactics will not override established legal standards. At the end of the day, it really does begin with judges maintaining clear boundaries and enforcing them without hesitation. Share your thoughts on this hearing because it certainly delivered its share of dramatic moments, even if the arguments themselves were familiar. If you enjoyed the coverage, be sure to follow for more daily updates, and thank you for watching and supporting the channel.